I love when films focus on time and how it impacts us, especially during the growing and informative years of our youth. Ms. Silver, I'll start with you. How does focusing on time for a narrative change your own relationship with it? Because I imagine this caused you to dip into your younger self. Do you have a healthier, stronger relationship with your younger self as a result of doing this film?
That's a really great question. So the film is based on my personal relationship with my co-writer and best friend, Siani Rosenstock, and these lovely actresses portrayed our younger selves. So it was like a very deeply reflective process for us, and also therapeutic, because even though Siani and I are still as close as ever, there was a lot of pain and hurt that we caused each other throughout these years, and we hadn't really relived those moments. So reflecting and reliving them allowed us to process them together in real time. So it was a very healing journey for us.
Yeah. I this is probably one of my favorite titles of the year, just because I always like films that have a very poetic title to it, even though it's mentioned at one point in the film and it may click with the audience as it comes to the concept of waves, but just even the symbolism of waves, of just like hitting you in life, and sometimes you go over it, sometimes you go under it. So how did that concept click for you to know that this was going to be such an important image that would just have a current throughout the film?
Sure, yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head. Originally, the game Over Under, which we see the girls playing in the waves through some of the musical montages, was something Siani and I played as kids and still do as adults when we're in the water, just screaming, are we gonna go over or under a wave as it approaches us? That was the original inspiration, but as we continued to create these moments, we realized, there really are so many waves that we all encounter in life, and how are we going to tackle them? Are we going to go over them? Are we going to go hide and go under them? And I think we see both of these young girls doing that throughout the entire film. And at the very end, the last moment, we see one jump over a wave and one go under, which makes us realize they're not completely in sync. They love each other deeply, and their friendship is just as important as ever, but it's not as simple as it was before when they were perfectly in harmony.
Right, they're not on the same wavelength anymore, to continue that pun. But I also love that you used the Japanese house. That was, as soon as they came on, that was the moment where I was like, I'm gonna love this. And because their music just really articulates the feeling of childlike wonder. So thank you for using them three times, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Amber Bain is so talented and one of my huge inspirations. In fact, when I heard Wild for the first time, which was right after I finished writing the script with Siani, I literally saw that last moment flash before my eyes. So it was essential to me that we got her music for the film.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did. Miss Bullock and Miss Lee, what is it like to do a film about growing up when you are doing it right now yourself? Because there's so many moments through watching this where, Miss Silver gives a lot of time to the parents, and you get to recognize the parents' emotions. Does doing this film cause you to think about your own parents' emotions a little bit more?
Honestly, yes. Like my parents aren't divorced, but they do fight like every parent. So when I was like sitting in that bed while my parents were fighting, I just thought like wow, like this actually happens to people. Like this is miserable. Like people actually have to go through this.
I feel kind of the same about my parents in the movie. How my mom in the movie had cancer, and how hard it must be for some people to go through that, because you're always worrying about your mom. It just makes you think how much you love your parents.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Because when you're a kid, or at least when I was a kid, I was so eager to want to grow up. But as you become an adult, you become nostalgic about certain things. You want to go back to being young. And so I think that's perfectly articulated through Stella's character, because you get to see how she doesn't want to let go of that just yet. There's a beautiful scene with her dad on the beach talking about mermaids, and it comes full circle at the end. So I'm genuinely curious about like what the emotions of your characters, how they impacted your own emotions. Are you thinking more deeply about your experience as a kid going into adulthood?
Yes, I definitely am. In some of the scenes where Violet was acting different than she was when she was younger, like when she was 13, it was kind of like I related to it a bit because that has happened to me a few times with friends, and it makes me feel like really sad because I know that all of these people around me are changing.
Yeah.
And I want to at the same time, but also at the same time I don't, because childhood is an amazing thing that you want to experience before it just flies by.
I feel like the same that Anna was saying, just like I want to grow up to fit in, but then after this movie, like it's made me realize that people just change like that, and even if you don't fit in, like so what, like it's childhood. No, like no one's going to remember, she's the kid that wore boy clothes during middle school. Like no one's gonna remember that. So I just think childhood's like is something that you gotta hold on to. Like, but Violet didn't do that, and then that caused her to almost lose her friendship with her best friend.
Yeah. So Miss Silver, like, what do you think if you had this film to view when you were a child? What do you think it would have done for you? How would it have affected you and opened you up?
I think it would have validated a lot of my experiences and made me feel seen and understood, that some of the private sort of awkward moments that I was experiencing with my body, or how I felt other people were perceiving me, or the agony of being bullied and desperately wanting to fit in. I think that if I had a film that was accessible that captured these moments, I would have felt like it's okay and it's normal to be going through this. And I hope that some, young kids and adults too, reflecting on this time in their life, can feel that way when they watch it.
Yeah. I have almost a 5-year-old, but I tried, I would say, like, going to movies. My wife is more of a literature person, so she plugs into a lot of that to be able to have more understanding for what children may be going through today. And I get a lot of that from film, and that's what I got from this film, to be able to just kind of take pause every now and then as a result of going through the experiences of these kids. There's something that I feel like you're very skilled at, and that is subtlety. Like, when did you notice that subtlety is such an incredible tool in storytelling, such as, the grandma not recognizing her son's own voice on the phone, the toenail polish, which is just a simple observation, and how the kids, or how the girls, talk about what they observe on the nude beach, and as they get older, those conversations, those details about what they're describing change, and then there's the different smoothie flavors to highlight the difference in parenting. So when did this begin to snowball for you and make you realize that this is such a great tool to use?
I think a lot of it came during the writing process. And I think it's because for me, I've always been really visual, and times and moments the words that I exchange with someone aren't always what I remember. It's like the look that I'm receiving, or a gesture that really stick with me, and that it's like I can feel what the other person is trying to communicate through those moments versus just their words. And that's always been very impactful for me in my life. And especially during girlhood, watching our bodies change and the clothes we start wearing and nail polish and makeup, like it was something I observed super closely when I noticed other girls doing it and I wasn't, and how you feel like an outsider. So I think those moments just have impacted me in my life, and I really wanted to infuse them in this story.
Ms. Bullock, Ms. Lee, did you contribute to the organic dialogue here, or is that just, you're just so skilled at being able to tap into like how young children speak today?
I think like a lot of it it was very nice like because since Sophia wanted it to be so natural, like she let us just do improv on what like we would really say. So I think that definitely helped it be very natural and free.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Emajean, how Sophia let us really be free and to put ourselves into the characters.
Is there a particular moment in this film that you feel most proud of in your own contributions to it?
I think probably the one for me was the last scene when I saw Stella on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Because I put that into my into my own thoughts. I'm losing my own best friend, and just the thought of that, I gotta get her back. She's my best friend. Like you can't just find those. When you find your best friend, you got to keep them. So I was very proud of that moment, and I feel like, because I felt like I really what's the word for it? I really showed it.
The scene that I feel like most connected to, I guess, is when Violet's parents were fighting downstairs, and I think it was the one with the chocolate under the bed, but I'm not exactly sure. But Violet's parents were fighting downstairs, and I was trying my best to comfort her.
Yeah.
And I feel like that I really put myself into it because I have a lot of friends who have parents that fight a lot, I guess.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel really good whenever I comfort them.
Yes, I agree too. I'm going to switch gears slightly by talking about some more of the images and concepts. So the concept of wishes in the image of butterflies was really well realized here. We learn a lot about Violet and Stella and what they want in life by them making wishes each year that's explored here. One wants to be accepted, another one wants to just have normalcy. If I may ask, what were your wishes at the start of making this film, and then what are they now as a result of doing it for each?
Yeah. At the start of the film, I think just to honestly capture all of these moments, to make sure that they were as truthful and real as possible, and to allow these young actresses the space to connect with what that meant for them on a very real, honest level. And at the end, now that it's like this time where we're about to release the film and share it with people, my wish is that viewers leave the theater feeling connected to their younger selves, and maybe compassionate for what they went through, and have a little bit more love for themselves, and feel like it's okay. Everything that they went through is okay and normal.
At the beginning of the film, my wish was to learn from my character, as I experienced it through filming, I experienced it in real life, and it affected me in my regular everyday life. And at the end of it, I was like, well, first of all, I was devastated because I missed everybody so much, because I made so many great friends. But it definitely did affect how my everyday life is, like going to middle school or just everyday life, really.
and for me, on honestly, like my goal at the beginning, because this was my first movie. Like, I had done commercial before. Like, my goal was just like to do good, but like, as I worked with Sophia, like, I realized like that she just like wanted me to feel natural, so like and just really be in the character, rather than always worrying about the lines. So at the end of it, like I felt like it like that it was important for me to just take away what I learned from this film with every like audition that I do, not just to film it, but to really dig into the character and put your experiences into theirs to really know how they feel.
Well, you both were fantastic in this film. I was really impressed, and I look forward to where you go from here. But I want to cut you all loose on this question. Cooper Raiff is like one of my favorite people. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and he's from Dallas, Texas, and a lot of the things that he's interested in as a storyteller are the things that I'm interested in as a storyteller. I'm just curious, Ms. Silver, about your relationship with him and how he challenges your creativity and how you may challenge his.
He's the best. So I saw Shithouse in October 2020, and I had no idea who he was.
Yeah.
I was so compelled by the story, but I also Siani and I were getting close to finishing the script, so I was deep in over-under mode, and I was so compelled by this guy who wrote, directed, starred in it, like doing the whole thing, and it gave me faith that if this guy can do it, maybe I can do it with over-under. And I remember texting Siani, like, have you seen this movie yet? This guy is so talented. And she was like, I went to college with him. He was a freshman when I was a senior, and one of my best friends, Grace West, who's a producer on our film, was in theater with him. Maybe when we finish, we can send the script to Cooper. And I was like, don't even get that hope in my mind, because that was just too crazy. But a couple months later, when we finished the script, Grace West was one of our friends who read it, and she loved it and said, I want to be involved. Can I please send this script to Cooper? I think he could help us and give us feedback. And she came on first as our creative producer, and she shared it with Cooper, and 2 weeks later we were on a Zoom with him, and he said, I would like to be formally involved. And I remember for the Zoom just saying, but there's one caveat here. I really want to direct this, and I don't have anything to show. I don't have a music video or a short. And he was the perfect person, because he had just gone through that with Shithouse, didn't have anything to show for himself. And he said, no, you have to be the one to direct this. Like, you're the only person who can. And so him coming aboard, it legitimized the project on a business level in terms of, investment and raising the money to make it, but also so like transcends all of that, because he believed in me. Like, he really, I feel like sometimes producers can get involved, especially executive producers, and try and take creative control or offer their advice maybe when you don't want that creatively. And that never happened to me once. Like, he fully stood behind my vision and my intentions for how I wanted to tell the story and what was important to me. So it's just been, this sort of leap of faith that he took it meant everything.